everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Tomas. Welcome you guys to part 2 of my extreme bathroom makeover. If you guys haven't seen part 1 yet, make sure to go ahead and check that video out before you watch this one. It is last week's video. I am going to leave it linked in the description box down below so that you guys can go ahead and do so. In part 1, we went over all the details, every single little thing that we are going to be doing in today's video. I gave you guys my ideas for the space, the plans that we had. We talked about the paint colors. We got all the materials that we need. We bought some furniture for the space. So many cool things in that first part. So definitely go ahead and check it out before you continue watching this one. So if you haven't seen it yet, pause this video right now. Click the link below, check it out, and then come back. Now, if you are still here, that means you've seen part 1. Welcome again to part 2. I'm so excited to get started with this little room transformation. It is going to be so grand, and I think it's going to make such a huge difference in my apartment. So I cannot wait. Let's jump right in. I have already cleared out the entire bathroom. Everything is actually laying here in my room. I took out all the products and stuff. There are still a couple of things in there that we need to take out. I just wanted to kind of show you guys a little before we take everything out. But the first thing we're going to be tackling in the bathroom is the molding. We are gonna be putting up this beautiful trim around the wall. Again, I am gonna be doing it halfway up the wall, just like I did it in my bedroom. However, I did some measurements and I will have to do it about 2 to 3 inches higher than the one in my bedroom, because there is a pre-installed hand towel rack and some other outlets that would be in the way if I actually did it at the exact same height. Which is 48 inches here in the bedroom. So I'm probably gonna have to do it at about 50, 51, 52 inches. So a couple of inches higher than the one in the bedroom, but honestly, you won't really be able to tell, and it's still a separate room completely, so it doesn't really matter. However, I did kind of want to try to follow the same flow as my other spaces. So we're gonna get started. I am gonna be nailing this to the wall, but first let's clear everything out. I, of course, already did an extreme deep clean of the bathroom. I cleaned all the floorboards, the walls, the ceiling, took everything out, cleaned all the cabinets, the shower, every little corner and crevice, because I wanted everything to be squeaky clean before I put any paint in the room. So I didn't show you guys that because I didn't think it would be really interesting in seeing me clean my bathroom. But let's head on in and get started. Welcome to the bathroom. It is such a simple little space. There is not much design going on. Like I said in part 1, the main thing that I want for this space is to feel warm. At the moment, it feels really cold. There's a lot of gray tones that came already with the apartment, the stark white walls. So I want to introduce warmth into the space. And like I said in part 1, I want it to feel like a 90s rom-com room. So even the bathrooms deserve that little attention to detail. This is a look around the space really quick before we finalize taking everything out. I had left a couple of things in just to show you guys kind of like the usual layout. Let's take on everything else that's still in here and get started with this transformation. All right, we are officially done taking everything out of the bathroom. It is completely empty. The walls are completely clean. Everything is good to go. I have the trim right here with me. So it's probably going to go about right there, which is still such a good height. And since I am painting the ceiling, I feel like the room is still going to feel very nicely divided. I have my tweezers right here with me. A level, we're going to measure everything, mark it with a pencil on the wall, making sure that everything is nice, leveled, equal, straight, all the things. and then we're gonna get to cutting. Let's get to measuring and cut our first piece. All right, so I am marking 3 little pointers on the wall at a 51-inch height. That is where I want the top of my trim to touch. So the reason why I'm putting 3 markers is because that's how it is easiest for me to then put the molding against it and use my level to make sure that everything is correctly placed and leveled. Now I'm gonna cut the trim to the width of the wall, and we are gonna be able to place it against the wall, make sure that we like the height before nailing it in. Let's do it. Trim is ready to go up. It cut like butter and it fits beautifully. I'm gonna be using my Wen brat nailer. I absolutely love this thing. It was super inexpensive. I bought it on Amazon when I did my bedroom makeover last year, so it's held up amazingly. It is so good. It is so user-friendly. I love it, so let's put it up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be placing it with those outlines that I created and making sure that it is leveled and adjusting it as necessary. All right, now that we have this up, I'm gonna be removing this just so that I can nail it properly, and also it'll help once we have to paint the walls to not have this. There's a big chance that this was never ever removed. There is the thickest layer of paint around it. That's the landlord special for you. All right. The reason why I'm putting a few is because the wall kind of curves a little. It's an old building, so the walls are not perfect. That is well attached in there. Nice. Let's go around the room and finish this trim. All right, trim is up all around the walls. It's looking so good. Such a little detail that makes a huge difference. Same thing that I said when I did this in my bedroom. I feel like adding some molding or some trim detail in your space is such a fast, easy way to add architectural interest, and it makes your space look so much more elegant and like well designed and put together. I love it so much. Really quick, I'm gonna take some dry decks and fill in all of those little nail holes and actually fill in the little line gap at the top of the molding. You can use some caulking, whatever it is that you want to use. I love using dry decks. It dries super quick. This one's a little bit old, so it's kind of pale, but when you buy it brand new, it is very, very pink. So when you put it fresh and it's wet, it's pink, and then as it dries white. So once it's fully white and dry to the touch, then you know that it is set and you can sand it down a little bit if needed. But it is so easy to work with. So I'm just going to be using this really quick, filling those in, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, I'm completely done filling in all the holes and the little crevices. Now, as that dries, I'm going to be taking some frog tape and I am going to be taping off the floor, the cabinet, anything that I don't want to get paint over. Frog tape is the best one for doing this. I used to use the blue tape, but this one just works so much better. It has like a paint block technology. I have no idea. it works better. Now, before I do this, I did go ahead and check. For some reason, I thought that I had enough paint rollers and like the actual foam roller, and I don't. I only have one, and I would like to have at least two. So I'm gonna go to the hardware store and get a couple extra foam rollers and then a tray, plastic tray, just to put the paint on. Usually you wouldn't use a foam roller, by the way, to paint walls and ceilings. You would use that more for cabinetry and doors. But for me, the application of a foam roller is just so much smoother than a regular paint roller. So that's why I use foam. It is a little bit more tedious technically. It might take a little bit longer, but for me, it doesn't. My application with a foam roller is better. So it's just what I use. But anyways, let's use this tape everything out, and then head over to the hardware store so that we can get started with paint. I'm so excited to see how the paint looks. I'm nervous. Got everything I needed. I am back home. Now I am gonna switch into painting clothes, and we're gonna get started with the paint, finally. Really quick update, I finished doing the first coat around all of the bottom part of the bathroom. You guys, this is gonna be a very trust the process moment because the paint is very splotchy on the first hand and it is appearing way brighter, especially on camera, than what it actually is. So I'm gonna wait and do a second coat and I'll show you guys once I am done with the second coat of the bottom before we move on to the top. But I am sweating. Good morning, everyone. It is day 2 of this bathroom makeover. Yesterday, I ended up doing a third coat on the walls and on the door of the bottom part with the honey tea. It is looking so good. The walls are absolutely perfect. I am going to do one more coat on the door. But yesterday, it took me so long. I started working at 2:30 with the molding and everything in here. Today, we're starting at 10:55. It's about to be 11. So hopefully we're not here all day. I was till very late painting last night. I'm going to change into my painting clothes. So we're going to do one more coat on the door, and then we're going to get started with the top paint with the harmonious gold. You might be able to see it a little bit. I did go ahead and tape off the edges with some tape when I woke up this morning just to save myself some time later on, and it'll make my painting job easier and hopefully my life easier. So I'm not sure how good the camera's picking up the color, but it is looking so good. It might look a little bit patchy on camera, but that might be because I am filming with a light. But it is so beautiful. I'm so excited. But yeah, that's a little look. So I'm gonna change and we're gonna keep painting. Let's go. had to remove the lights so that I could paint around that trim, and I swear, if a spider crawls out of there while I'm painting on top of a stool and fall, I'll die. All right, excuse the mess, but this is what it's looking like. Obviously, this is only one coat, so it is very streaky. I love the color. Let's see if the camera can kind of pick it up. You can see it is a very pale yellow. I like that here you can see how the color is not super saturated. It is a little bit more opaque in person. Of course, the light from the window is kind of switching things, but I love the way that it looks with the tile in the shower. I think it is so pretty. I will say painting the ceiling was extremely hard. The extender that I have is 5 feet, and it's actually way too long for this tiny room. So it's hard for me to like pick up some paint and then put it up. Uh, so I'm struggling a little bit and I'm exhausted, but we're gonna push through. Coat one took me about an hour and a half to do the entire top. So hopefully coats 2 and 3 will be a little bit faster now that we do have a base. But I'm gonna let this dry, and I'm actually gonna paint the cabinet. I'm gonna paint it with the same paler yellow, the harmonious gold. I want to paint it. I don't like the white. I think it looks too generic, and I think the yellow is gonna look great. It's gonna blend in with the wall more, maybe even look a little bit more built in. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and paint that probably outside in the balcony. I'm not gonna show you guys that because then this whole video is gonna be just me painting, and I don't want that. So I'll just show it to you guys once it is done. We are done. So I ended up doing 3 coats on the top half of the bathroom, and it looks so good. I will say that Harmonious Gold was a little bit easier to work with than Honey Tea. It looks so good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove all of this tape around the entire bathroom. And then, of course, after you're done doing that, there will always be little spots that you have to clean up with a little brush. So I'm going to go ahead and do both of those things. Okay, I did some cleanup of wherever it might have leaked with the tape, which was very little. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean things up a little bit. I'm gonna screw back in all the outlet covers and the thing for the door, the towel racks. I'm gonna screw those things back into place, and then we're gonna start cleaning around a little bit. But once we set up all of that, then we're gonna be able to bring in our bigger pieces. I painted the cabinet that goes on top of the toilet. It is drying in the balcony, but yeah, that's it. And then of course we still have to do the curtain for the sink, which we will actually do tomorrow, not today. Ashley, my friend Ashley, is going to come over and help me out with that. So hopefully we can get it done tomorrow rather quickly. Quick update. So I finished wallpapering the inside of the cabinet. I didn't film it because I usually really struggle with wallpapering. However, for some reason this time it was pretty easy. I didn't have to do it on a really big surface, so thumbs up on that. However, when I was working on it, I painted the cabinet again the same color as the top right here. And I noticed I had it outside in the living room where it's different lighting, and I noticed that the color of the paint looks very different to how it looks in my bathroom. So in my bathroom, I have one super warm light in the ceiling, and then I have four really cool light bulbs on top of the mirror. They're very blue light. I want to show you really quick. This is with only the cool ones. This is with both lights. And then this is with only the warm light. So can you see how much the color of the wall changes? Like drastically based on the lighting. So what I want to do is I'm considering maybe switching out the light bulbs on top of the mirror and putting something that's a little bit warmer but still very bright, not as warm as the ceiling one. It might be bright white, which still has a warm undertone. This is literally blue. The one that's on top of my mirror is literally blue. So anything will be warmer. And I did try, I believe it was a bright white light bulb on one of the sockets in there, and it looked way better. So I might actually go and change that. I do want to show you, however, the look of the cabinet because I am so happy with how it turned out. It is so beautiful. Let me go grab it real quick. All right, check this out. Hold up. Look how pretty. It's buttery yellow. But you guys, the important part, let me show you the inside of this. It's so pretty. All right, I lower the camera. Are you ready? Look at that. Guys, can you see? Can you see the wallpaper work I did in there? I did the shelf, the back, the sides, and even the little inserts in the doors. I love this print so much. I will give you a good look once I hang it up. I'm not going to be able to hang this by myself. My roommate, Ellie, is not at home right now, so I might wait for her to help me. It is not that heavy, but I need to screw it in, so it would literally be impossible for me to hold this with one hand. Yeah, I would love to get it up before the night ends so that all of the really big things are complete. And then tomorrow we can bring in more of the decor. And of course, tomorrow we're gonna do the skirt for the sink. I am so excited. That's gonna look beautiful. So I'll update you guys, but I wanted to show you that really quick. Has anyone ever in the history of ever worked on a home project and only had to go to Home Depot or the hardware store just once and not have to go again while they're working on that same project? Every time I'm working on a project or doing something, I end up going a million times to Home Depot. You never get everything that you need the first try. Never. Is it just me? I don't think so. Is it? No. We're on our way to Home Depot, if you couldn't tell. Can you see the difference? Good. Much better. All right, so I switched out the lights and it looks much better in here. For a little bit there, I freaked out. I was like, did I make a huge mistake? I'm still wondering it a little bit, but I'm pushing through because I believe in my vision. All right, I wanted to show you really quick the cabinet in here. I mean, how pretty is that? I love it so much. I am so proud too of how I was able to achieve the use of the contact. You guys, look at this. By the way, I do apologize if the audio from now to the end of the video is a little bit different. My microphone broke, which was the last thing that I needed today, but it's okay. It's okay. Thank you so much to Ellie for helping me hang it up. I couldn't have done it without her. This thing was heavy, but I drilled some holes into the wall first before screwing it in to make our lives easier, and of course, for better support. I love it so much, you guys. It looks like built in. I feel like this really elevated the look and the feel of the whole room so much. I hope you guys like it too. And by the way, if you are watching this video and you guys are not subscribed to the channel yet, definitely consider doing so. It helps me a lot. It helps me be able to keep bringing videos like this to you guys. So definitely consider it. But I am gonna be calling it a night. Today was a very successful day. We managed to do everything that was on my to-do list. I accomplished every single thing. We had to finish painting the bottom, paint the entire top, the ceiling, everything, finish painting the room, which took forever, you guys. I've been going at this 13 hours without breaks. I only stopped once to go eat, and that was it. So worth it. I really wanted to get it done and see it through. We also put up the rod for the curtains. We painted the cabinet and did the wallpaper inside the cabinet. So was able to accomplish so much. Tomorrow we're gonna be doing the curtains, of course, and I feel like that is really gonna finalize the look and elevate it so much. I feel like it definitely needs that break of fabric, and it's a little bit of a lighter color. And to break off all the hard surfaces and all the paint around the space, bringing in some fabric, I feel like it's gonna soften it so much to the eye. And then, of course, we're gonna bring in all the paintings, the decor. I am so happy. I am gonna go to bed and I will catch up with you guys tomorrow morning. Bye. Hello everyone, good morning. This is day 3 of the renovation. I am here with Ashley. Ashley, say hello to everyone. So we are working on the curtains right now. We were doing all the measurements before I cut up with you guys. So we're gonna be cutting them. Let me show you what we're doing. So we have the fabric laid out and we're gonna do 2 panels for the front of the cabinet and then 1 panel for the side. And we're doing some extra inches on each of the panels. That way it can bunch up kind of like this. These are some curtains that Ashley helped me create when I did my entryway makeover. So as you can see, it bunches up a little bit and then we're just gonna hem it and have it look kind of like this. Great. I made a mistake. I don't like the yellow. And I can't believe I'm saying that, you guys, because we have spent the last 3 days working on this bathroom, 2 of those days being just for painting. which was a lot. But I don't like it. And we gotta change it up. So let's try this one more time, shall we? Let's go.
Alright, so we were able to return them. Let me see the colors that it chose.